10 things you didn't know about LeBron James. Welcome to Top 10 Sports Media. Hey there, sports fans. In this video, we're taking a look as to what are the 10 things you didn't know about LeBron James. Some of these you might expect, but others might surprise you. So sit back and enjoy. LeBron James is one of the most popular athletes in the world. He has won 3 NBA championships and 4 MVP awards and is considered by many to be the best basketball player of all time. But there are many things that you may not know about LeBron James. This video will discuss 10 exciting facts about LeBron James that you probably didn't know. Number 10. He could have been an NFL star. LeBron was a bona fide dual sports star at St. Vincent St. Mary High School, excelling at both basketball and football. He played wide receiver and led his team to the state semifinals in his 3rd season and was named on the All-State team during his sophomore year. Such success has led many to wonder whether James would have made it in the NFL. Although definitely a phenomenal talent, the very nature of football making it harder for individual players to shine quite as much as dominant basketball stars would have indeed limited LeBron to a prime receiver at the very best. He wisely chose to stick with basketball, growing into the finest player of an entire generation. Number 9. A broken wrist at high school almost changed NBA history. In the summer of 2002, James severely broke a wrist a year before his high school graduation and entry into the NBA draft. Although his non-shooting wrist had an injury failed to heal adequately, it could have severely impacted the success he enjoyed. Rumor has it that his injury was rehabilitated by Michael Jordan's orthopedist, which, if true, shows immense faith which was placed in LeBron's ability from a very young age. Such significant steps were taken to secure his entry into the league, demonstrating the importance and widespread knowledge of his potential. Number 8. His parents have both done time in jail. Although he never had a father figure when growing up, LeBron influenced a stepfather named Eddie Jackson. In 1990, he spent 3 years in jail for cocaine trafficking, which hasn't prevented James from explaining the importance of having a father figure present during his formative years. His mother, Gloria James, once spent a week in custody, although her imprisonment is far easier to sympathize with due to nothing more than minor charges of disorderly conduct. She has stayed out of trouble before and since, and LeBron has always been very public about his mother's crucial role in his success. Number 7. Cartoon lover, and he's left-handed. LeBron James is a huge cartoon lover. His favorite cartoon show is Tom and Jerry, but he also says that SpongeBob SquarePants is among his favorites. He also cracks a ton of Family Guy jokes during practices. There may be no sight more familiar in modern basketball than LeBron finishing off a fast break with a thunderous right-handed jam. But it might surprise many fans to find out that King James is a lefty. Although he shoots a basketball right-handed, LeBron eats and writes with his left hand off the court. Number 6. The profits of The Decision went to charity. Although The Decision, a 1-hour TV special in which James announced his controversial move to the Miami Heat, was rightly criticized for its attention-grabbing, overblown nature, it did have at least one upside. The profits of the widely viewed special were all donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America, demonstrating LeBron's philanthropic side. This fact was forgotten, mainly due to the mammoth nature of his move, which has regularly been cited as one of the most controversial, highly publicized moments in American sporting history. Number 5. He's not really the heir to Jordan. Although a lot of elite players of the 21st century have been saddled with comparisons to Michael Jordan, the moniker sits a little uneasily with LeBron James. Although a huge fan of Michael Jordan as a child, LeBron's style of play is nowhere near the carbon copy of Jordan's game as, say, Kobe Bryant's is. His emphasis leans towards the power over finesse. While Air Jordan was clearly no stranger to the rim, LeBron's runaway steam train act has led a lot to dub him the most physically unstoppable man in the NBA history. Oscar Robertson would be a player far more accurately regarded as a successor to LeBron. The two men share similar dynamic style and several accolades exclusive to each other. They are the only two men to average at least 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and 27 points for 7 consecutive seasons, and are both famed for their versatility. A big factor in James' move to the Miami Heat was with a decreased focus on sheer point scoring. He would be able to focus on assists and rebounds, thereby attempting to become only the second player in the NBA history to average a triple-double throughout a whole season. The first, Oscar Robertson in 1961-62. Number 4. He considers handshakes to be very important. LeBron's love of secret handshakes is one of the unique quirks in the NBA. He is rumored to have a shared distinct secret handshake with each member of every team he has played on. Although quite how he remembers so many sequences of high fives, hand grabs, and shoulder bumps is quite a mystery. James' shakes aren't limited to NBA teammates. He also shares a secret greeting with one of the most guarded men in music, JayZ. Number 3. JayZ wrote a song defending him. Speaking of JayZ, he once wrote a diss track aimed at Soulja Boy, who had attempted to bait Hova into a war of words. Jay claimed in the lyrics he was "so big respond," drawing an explicit parallel with a similar beef between LeBron and Washington Wizards player Deshaun Stevenson. Despite losing the 2008 playoff clash to LeBron and the Cavaliers, Stevenson arguably had the last laugh when playing in 2011 for the Dallas Mavericks. His team triumphed 4-2 over James's Miami Heat to lift the NBA championship. Number 2. He's part of a 3-person club. Although he's broken many records in his career, LeBron James' most unusual and bizarrely impressive statistic is that he's only one of 3 men in NBA history to switch teams immediately after an MVP-winning season. His 2010 move from Cleveland to Miami came on the back of a dominant season, albeit one bookended by an underwhelming playoff run that saw his Cavaliers knocked out at the hands of the Boston Celtics. Wilt Chamberlain left the Philadelphia 76ers in 1968 at the end of an MVP season, signing a lucrative deal with the Los Angeles Lakers, while Philly saw an incoming most valuable player in the summer of 1982 in the imposing figure of Moses Malone, arriving from the Houston Rockets. Interestingly, while all 3 men would win a championship with their new teams, Malone was the only one to do it at the first attempt. Number 1. He's a Chicago Bulls fan. Cleveland sports fans are perhaps the most unfortunate in all of America, seeing their beloved Browns, Braves, and Indians did not win a single title since 1962. However, LeBron won't have shared such misery as he supported none of the city's finest, despite boasting a proud Ohio heritage himself. Like many members of his generation, James idolized Michael Jordan and followed the Chicago Bulls. This may be particularly painful for Cavaliers fans, as MJ's 1989 last-second buzzer beater knocked a solid Cleveland team out of the NBA playoffs in the first round, a shot dubbed The Shot due to its infamy. James is an outspoken fan of both the Dallas Cowboys and New York Yankees, implying a bias towards big, historically successful franchises at the expense of his local teams. He is, however, the one man who can transform his city's fortunes with a long-awaited NBA championship. So that concludes the 10 things you didn't know about LeBron James. Did you enjoy the video? If you have any further questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Are you looking for more sports-related videos? Of course, you don't want to miss our excellent and exciting videos. And be sure to check out our other videos for more great content like this. That's it for today. Until next time.